Back about 13 years ago or so, 10 years ago, I was driving in the car with the top down and I was listening to the radio and this guy here, Slim Shady, yes, this son of a gun was on the radio. He was rapping, he sounded great.
Is rapping and singing and dancing and frolicking and frolicking about in the muddy playgrounds of the Southfields of Southfield, Michigan.
Exactly. And I called the radio station and I said, yo, who is this kid rapping? Because he sucks. And I'd love to take this guy on because I think I can make him a decent rapper if I write his lyrics for him.
Can I have that?
Right? Isn't that how that went?
Wait, you have to understand how he rapped.
He rapped.
He rapped like this.
We started off with an 8-track studio in Oak Park in my basement. We worked that thing all the way up to probably 95. We wanted a 24-track studio. That was the next step. We found a building on 8 Mile Road. 8 Mile, of course, everybody knows, is that borderline street. We were always doing urban stuff, so it just seemed right to be over there. We always had this saying, we'll do an 8 Mile stop. We had no money at the time, so we would use old microphone and put it in a garbage can and anything it took, old strings out of tune. We called that 8 Mile style.
My brother was the individual that first recognized the talent of Marshall. Heard him on the open mic night.
Every Friday, Lisa would let us come down there. We actually hooked it up to a guy named DJ Dick, who let us. We was known as Basement. I don't know. Dick told Lisa about us or whatever, and she said let him come down and let him rap. And one night, I guess Marky was coming home in his car and heard us on the air and called up there. We was on the air while he was making the call. He was like, "Who is that?" And Lisa was like, "It's Basement Productions, and such and such and such." And he was like, "Put him on the phone with me." So then she put us on the air. And they was like, "We want you to come down to the studio and, yada, yada, yada." And when we got off the air, Marky gave us like all this information and everything, and we went there. We went to his house and he had a studio in his basement.
I mean, when Marshall came into the studio, I thought I was going to lose my mind because I was like, what's coming out of this kid's voice? Looking like this and sounding like this unbelievable rapper. I couldn't believe this kid.
I was a kid. I was like 15. I was like 14 or 15 when I met them. I was just happy to be in the fucking studio. I didn't give a fuck what I was doing. I was just happy to be in the studio.
Back then, I wasn't ready. I still was trying to figure out who I wanted to be and what I wanted to sound like. So, I'm mimicking other people's shit at that point, I felt like I was too young to have my own style. I mean, back then, you couldn't tell me no different. I thought I was ready. The Infinite record, I think I was about 20 and had started going up to a lot of open mic spots. And one was called the Hip Hop Shop, like the most infamous open mic spot there was, especially at that time in Detroit. And started going to them open mic spots and just making a name for myself and just going up in there and just fucking ripping it and being the only white kid in there, like, that was the talk, was,
right,
the white boy, this and this, and it got back to him, and I actually, around that time that I was going to them open mic spots, went to their studio to record, paid with my own money to record and put out my own cassette. It was a cassette single. It was called Backstabber, and the flip side was Bitophobia. Right. And I recorded it in there, and they had heard me rap and heard me do the songs, and this producer I was working with back at the time, Mannix, had made the beats. and they heard it and they liked it. So even though I put it out myself, by me doing that and going back in there and them getting to hear me at a later date, and you know, me going through my changes and evolutions and getting older and more mature and learning what I wanted to be, they were interested again. You know, it was the momentum of that. I think they figured if we press up another cassette and some LPs, some vinyl, and let the DJs play them in the clubs and shit at the same time, shop it, then we could get something. But nothing cracked again, and the album coming flopped again.
We had a tough time with that record. You know, I couldn't get stores to take product on consignment. Even I couldn't give product away. It was a tough battle, but I wasn't going to give up.
Basically, the rest of the CDs or the rest of the cassettes that didn't sell, just going to all the places we could just give them out in other cities and just get the buzz, like try to generate something, hoping somebody would hear it. And then during that time, everything just started. It seemed like it was just crashing because nobody was listening.
I remember, Em, you were down in the basement, and you said, "You know what? I've given it all, man. I think this is the best thing I've done. If this doesn't work, fuck it."
It was the best. I said this is the best I can do. If this doesn't work,
Yeah,
then
what do I do?
It's not gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
Well, we take them into the studio, and 10 years, geez, I feel like there's a penis on my head. 10 years later, we work and we're working and we're working. We're trying to beat the odds here because we've got a couple things going against us. Number one, I have this, and number two, if you can all tell,
Well, the first thing is that you're talking about two Jewish producers in hip hop, which that's really unheard of. But the truth of the matter is, at the beginning of this whole thing, it was not sure that we could pull off a hip hop album.
I went through a series of events, style changes, shit happening in my life, just drastic, just different shit. And the way I was rapping began to get more hostile and more, like fuck the world type shit. So I started coming in with songs like it was talking about overdosing on drugs and fuck life and this and that, and it caught their ear in a whole different way. Just like it started catching everyone else's ear, like wherever I was going, rapping about it. And I don't know, it seemed like as soon as I stopped giving a fuck about what I was saying, people started giving a fuck. It was like a reverse effect. Like, fuck you, I don't care if you like me or not. Oh, well, we like you now.
Infinite.